Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. Today I'm with Colton. How you doing, Colton?
I can't complain, Boris. How are you doing this morning?
Well, a little crazy out there. Let me share my screen. So what we have here is a really bad situation with everything falling very, very hard, pretty much, especially the altcoins. Everything is falling very rapidly. Difficult situation. I know it's scary out there. It's difficult to keep a cool head. This goes back to what we've been saying for months. First of all, don't ever leverage, because you don't want to be in a leverage position in this market. You'll get liquidated automatically. Second of all, and you don't want to leverage ever. Even if you feel like the market is turning around and you're like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money because I'm going to leverage my money, it's a bad idea, because you have sometimes bull traps, bear traps. You think something is going a certain direction, it starts moving in the direction you think it's going, you doubling down, and it gets reversed and it gets really bad. So in a market like this, you want to keep a cool head. You want to do certain things, like, first of all, you want to go DCA, but very slowly. You don't want to jump in. If you think like, oh my God, Bitcoin is at 28,000. This is maybe a good entry point. Might be, might not be. No one knows, by the way, where it's going to go. People claiming that they know it's going to go to 20,000 or 10,000, they have no idea. And the reality, they're just guessing numbers. No one knows where the bottom is. So you want to go slowly. If you have $10,000, you want to say, okay, let me do this over several months. I'll DCA that $10,000 over the next, let's say, 6 months. So roughly you're going to say, I'm going to do, maybe $1,500, $1,700, over the next 6 months. So maybe you buy on a weekly basis, and you can start. One of the best ways to do this is, let's say it's at 28,000 right now. You might want to say, okay, I'm going to buy $500 at 27,000. I'm going to put another order at 26,000, another $500 at 25,000, so you catch the thing going down. You put the orders in advance. Don't put too many orders in advance. Only put like 2-3 orders in advance. So in case there's a big drop and it comes right back up, at least you caught it. But don't say, yeah, I'm going to put, $1,700 at $27,000. Because if it goes all the way down to 24,000, or lower, you could have had better entry points. So go progressively. Don't overrush things. The market, the way it is right now, it's probably going to be fear for a while. There's probably going to be, the inflation numbers are still not good. They've improved slightly, but not as much as people thought they might improve. So it's going to take some time for the whole thing to get back to normal. I wanted to show you the price of BTC, 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, we were roughly at $1,700, exactly to the day. 5 years ago, Bitcoin was at $1,700. And as you see, it went all the way up to about $19,000. And then it came back down, that was the end of 17. And by the, spring of, or let's say March of 2019, 2 years later, the bottom of the bear market, it was all the way down to 3,800. So these situations have happened before. People who bought at 19,000, and now it's 2 years later, it's down to 3,800. they didn't feel good either. They felt like it was the end of things, and everybody was like, oh yeah, Bitcoin is going to zero, so on and so forth. So then it climbed back up, and then we went all the way up to 69,000 in November, and now here we are, at 28, 150. I mean, it changes every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, every minute it changes very quickly.
Yeah.
So, keep a cool head. We don't know where it's going. We don't know if it's going to go to 25,000, 20,000, 15,000. Technically, if you calculate the exact same fall from the 19,000 down to the 3,500 in 2019, that was a retracement of about, 80%, something like that. So if you calculate the same numbers from November all the way down, potentially it could fall down to around $14,000. Will it happen? No one knows. But one thing is happening is the movement of Bitcoin is less and less violent. So it's less violent to the upside and less violent to the downside because it stabilizes over time. So there is a higher chance that the drop is not as big as the drop between 2017 and 2019. So potentially the $20,000, dollar Bitcoin, it's possible. Will it happen? Once again, no one knows. But what you can do is DCA slowly over time, over the next several months. If it comes back up, let's say that it drops down to about 25,000, which actually it did earlier this morning, Bitcoin dropped all the way down to about 24,500, something like that. And then it came back up to 29. Now it's back down to 28. The thing is, if it drops to 25 again, or it dropped to 23, it could reverse at some point and then starts going back up. Who cares? Then things will start getting better. If it keeps on falling, then you keep on slowing DCA. If it starts coming back up, then most likely might be better to hold off, especially if there is like an upswing of it goes down to 23 and then suddenly jumps to 30. You don't want to buy on that day, definitely if it just jumped to 30, because then it could drop back down again. So slowly DCA, pick the days that are really red whenever you want to DCA, or like I said, put orders in advance with, step downs, Don't try to catch a falling knife. That's something that you say in the stock market. If you see a stock dropping a lot, sometimes people try to buy it because they're like, oh, this has fallen 50, 80%. This is great, man. It's time to buy. And they buy a lot and maybe it loses another, 10, 20% or whatever, it drops much further down, almost to zero. So since we never know where things are going, go slowly. I think that's the main thing to remember. Don't listen to FUD, because FUD is always, people will tell you. It's funny, when Bitcoin goes up, they tell you like, oh, it's going to $1 million, and they make it sound like it's going to happen tomorrow, which it won't. Yeah. And when it drops, they tell you like, oh my God, it's going to zero. People are just too extreme every time. I think this time we're going to see. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I just want to make it clear for the people watching, you're talking about Bitcoin, but what if you had an altcoin like Cardano or Solana? Would the same apply here, Boris? Should we be DCAing as well, or should we just be focusing on Bitcoin?
No, I mean, it can be altcoins, I mean, the thing about the altcoins, they tend to fall harder whenever the market has corrections. I mean, yeah. We're seeing panic here, and pretty soon we might see capitulation. Capitulation is when people get desperate and they will sell pretty much at any price. Even if, let's say, Bitcoin drops to $10,000, they capitulate and they say, okay, I'm selling it at 10,000. It's better to get 10,000 rather than the thing going to zero. And that resets the market usually, and that's where from that bottom things starts going back up.
Gotcha.
So, but you can DCA, your coins. Definitely, try to stay within the top 50, even the top 20 coins,
Right now. Yeah.
usually. And with what happened to Terra Luna, that's why you also want to have diversification in your portfolio, because if you lose on one position, at least it's not bringing the whole portfolio down. I saw some people that were really feeling awful, yesterday and today because they had pretty much everything in Terra Luna. So they are pretty much wiped out, because Terra Luna, unfortunately, has literally dropped to, if I refresh,
I think it's
all the way down now. It's gone so much down, and I don't think it's even in the top 100.
in the top 100.
So let's search. Yeah, 123 now. Now it's at 3 cents, 3.5 cents. It's gone down 97.6%. So of course,
show them that price chart, Boris, because that price chart will do do some justice.
This is a crazy price chart. If you look over 1 week, it's gone down from pretty much $85 down to 3 cents. Now the chances of them making a recovery, it's totally unknown at this point. It's highly unlikely that they will go back to what they were. Sure. No one knows for sure. It's just unfortunate. But that's why being diversified is important. That's why also it's important to be in the top projects, because top projects, they'll take a hit, but they will most likely survive.
Yeah, and recover. Yeah.
Whereas a smaller project, if the coins go down 60, 70, 80%, they may run out of cash, for their project. Yeah. That's where the danger is with the smaller projects. The bigger projects, they have a higher chance of keeping their money.
Yeah.
So
yes, sir.
Right now, you want to go slowly. Like I said, it's a falling knife, so you don't want to catch. You want to start putting those buying orders at a much lower price than where everything is sitting at. If you look at, let's say, Solana is at $43. You probably don't want to put an order above 38 or 35, because that's where you want to start buying slowly, coins like a Solana or Polkadot or whatever. Polkadot at 8.15, you probably want to say okay, let me start putting some buy orders at maybe 7 or 6.5, and start slowly catching them. That's the other thing. The last thing is there'll probably be some regulations coming, down the road, because of people probably complaining it's too much the Wild West in crypto. So we're probably going to see more regulations come in the space, which is not necessarily bad. We've talked about that before as well. Is we need to have some regulations. We don't want to be over-regulated, because otherwise it might create other problems. But some regulations will be good, because this was pretty much a coordinated attack on Terra Luna and UST.
Yes, sir.
So it was, and it seems like, I don't know for sure, but it seems like it was organized by some hedge funds. They can do it legally, unfortunately, because there are no regulations. There's nothing that they did that was illegal. So that's why regulations could actually be of some help. And it'll probably help restore some faith, in the market, having some regulations. But as you can see, Bitcoin is down 29%, Ethereum 34%. I'm talking about 7 days. But XRP 42%, Cardano 49%, Solana 53%. So the altcoins get hit harder than Bitcoin or Ethereum. So,
yes, sir.
But like I said, that doesn't mean you don't invest in altcoins anymore. It just means that, try to stay towards the top of the market. If we went to, let's say, the ones that are more towards the 100 to 200 thing over 7 days. Some of them have gained a little bit, but Luna is pretty much down. Pretty much, they put 100%. It's not 100%, but it's very close to it. Safe Moon down 82%. That's the old Safe Moon. Astar, down 68, 67%. You see all those things. Kava down 64%. Cadena down 64%. So all those alts, and if you go even further to down the list, it's probably gonna be even worse. 68%, 68, 66. Everything is just tumbling. And like I said, the smaller projects, some of them will get wiped out. Some of them will just disappear. So you want to stay within the top, 20, 30 cryptos. If you want to stay, probably stop around, like Cosmos is still a great project, Algorand is still a great project, but they've taken some really, really bad bidding, 54%, 45%. I mean, everything is just in ruins right now. So, but like I said, we've seen it before. Eventually it stabilizes and then things come back, but it's also the macro economy in general, everything, the whole stock market keeps on going down every day. If we look at the stock market, it was way down yesterday. And today we see that it's down again, another 1.31%. For the NASDAQ, and the Dow is also losing another, almost 0.60%. So it's just every market is going down. And what's funny is like even gold is down. So even
and I know
like, well, gold is good, and gold was at 2,000 not too long ago. And now it's
and
down
I know you're not
1843.
I know you're not in the U.S. either, Boris, but gas prices have surged in the last 5 days. I mean, the national average alone has gone up another 30 cents. So at least here in Houston, we're a little lucky. We're sitting at about 4.15 right now here in Houston, but there's other parts of Texas and other parts of the country that have seen a huge increase. The national average, I believe, is 4.50 right now. So it's not just crypto, it's not just stocks, it's everything right now.
Yeah. And even the euro is falling. It's down to 104. The British pound is down to 122. A year ago, a little bit over a year ago, the euro was at like 125, and the British pound was at like 136, 137. So only really the US dollar is gaining against all the other currencies, but it's not really winning that well because of inflation.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there is no no safe haven right now, safe harbor. It's bad everywhere. It's just the way it is. Sometimes market goes way down and people panic. Just keep a cool head. Don't necessarily sell your coins, because that's the other temptation, is to say, oh, let me sell all my coins while the Bitcoin is still at 28. What if it goes down to 25? And then later on, things starts to recover, and then we get back up to 35, and then 40, 45, and you're like, oh, let me buy back in, and you've lost a lot. So, but that's why it's always important to take profits, whenever the market is doing good, because that's the tough part, is to press that sell button whenever you've made a lot of profit. So you start putting money on the side, for events like these, because these are the time where you could be making a lot of money if you have some cash on the side, and you're ready to buy, some more coins. So keep a cool head. I know it's not easy. I was gonna watch also the DXY, because we have, that's the dollar. The stronger the dollar, the tougher it is for the crypto to recover. And unfortunately, the DXY is sitting very high right now. It's even gone a little further, a little higher.
Yes,
If
sir.
you look at it, it's 104.59. That's against a basket of other a basket of other fiat currencies, like the euro or the British pound or the yen or whatever. And if you look in 1 month, look how much it's gone up. We were sitting at 100, now it's 104. And that's just 1 month. If you take 3 months, 3 months ago, we were at 95. So basically, the US dollar index has gone up 10% in a matter of 3 months. If we want to see a recovery, that's definitely a big indicator that you need to watch, is to see where the dollar index is sitting at.
Gotcha.
Start the DXY starts going down, most likely you'll see eventually some recovery on the crypto market. Any questions? Any things you
From my side, Boris, we kind of hit it. We discussed as we were going through, so there's nothing from my side today.
Okay. So, yeah, I think it's important to keep a cool head and don't watch the market every 2 minutes, because, if there's a big drop, then there's a big drop. What else can you do about it? Like I said, just put some of your orders, but put them quite a bit lower than where they're sitting at, and progressively going down, not just all in one big sum, and DCA that money over 6 months, because we're probably going to be in a rough market, for the next several months. It could be even longer, it could be a year. We don't know. No one knows. So stretch those dollars, for, and go slowly is probably the best you can do. But at the same time, when market will recover, because they always do recover at some point, then suddenly you're going to see things go crazy the other way around. You're going to see, Bitcoin jump. If it went all the way down to 20,000, then you'll see it jump to 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You'll be like, oh my God, this is insane. It's been jumping, because that's what it did in the previous cycles. In the previous market cycles, it went from $1,000 to $19,000 in just 12 months. That's it. So I hope everyone, stays good out there. Hopefully, at the end of the day, that's where it shows you, only invest money you're willing to lose. Lots of people use that phrase. It's very true. You don't want to be investing money that you absolutely needed for something. We look forward to see you on the next video. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Colton. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.